What's going on, guys? This is Damien from The Lookout, and today I am answering your AMA, your Ask Me Anything Dragon Ball questions. Plus some not really Dragon Ball related, but I'm gonna answer them anyway. So yeah, this week we are having a bit of different content because I'm busy working on something that is coming. And to make this thing the way that I want it to make, I need to go and actually build myself a small studio in the apartment. So that's what I'm doing now. But guys, before we begin this video, huge shout out to the Coffee Club, our lovely patrons. Oh my god, you barely fit on the screen anymore. Anthony, Brian, Miguel, Nave, Eternal, Ems, Emre, Ryan, Frank, Scotty, Eric, Bix and Bryce, Fernando, Derek, Adnan, Jakub and Golden Feather Kiryu. These are our $2 and up patrons. They buy us coffee, they keep us going. Guys, if you want to become a member of the Coffee Club, it's $2. Link to the Patreon is in the description below. If Patreon isn't your thing, we also have a channel membership where you can unlock exclusive emojis. Another one is coming, but that one is connected to what's coming out next week. So yeah, you can go and check out the channel membership. Just click the join button. And of course, before we begin this video, guys, hit those like and subscribe buttons, share the video, help us get to 3,000 subs. Now, I guess that's it. Roll the video! Okay guys, we have 20 questions today. Let's start with Facebook questions. Let's start off with a simple one. Christopher Hay asks, why green? Now I can be a smartass and I can say like, why green what? But I assume that I know why. What are you asking me when you say why green? It's like, I'll assume that you're saying, hey Damien, why do you play green? And it's actually an interesting question. First off, it's probably because I secretly hate myself, but actually I think it's more because I've started playing this game way back when Knockout Strike Gogeta came out. I believe that was set 4 or 3. It was somewhere around that period, I believe. My first deck was blue. It was completely banned. I think only the starter cards in it aren't on the ban list. Like, yeah. And then I've kept coming back to the game and leaving for years. I was the least active Lookout member. And the final time when I actually got into Dragon Ball and I decided to stay here, my friend told me, hey, you know, there is this deck. It's a King Cold. You know, this was around the time when King Cold came out. And it was like, well, you know, there's like this King Cold, you know, it's pretty good, you know, it's pretty green is very strong at the moment. That was a lie. That was definitely a lie. Green was awful. But this is more to do with me just being stubborn now. I mean, like, well, yeah, okay, I will see the day when green will be good. And actually, right now I'm seeing the day when green is good. So yeah, that's why green. Like, I got back into the game with green, and I'm adamantly sticking with it. Plus, I love its stupid gimmicks. I give green a lot of shit, but I love its stupid gimmicks. It's super fun. Like, it's not linear, and that's what's cool to me. Question number 2, again from Hazy. What's your success to being a content creator? There's no denying that you're one of the top Dragon Ball content creators. Thank you, mate. That really means a lot. And any tips to the small content creators? Okay, I will start with the tips, because tips are connected to number 1. First off, find your niche. Find something that you enjoy doing. Find something and just kind of make it yours. You know, we have a relatively small community. But for a relatively small community, we have a lot of content creators, which is always awesome to see. I love whenever a new content creator video pops up, you know, whenever someone puts a video on the group, I always click it, I always check it out. Because I love seeing all of these creative ideas everywhere and listening to other people's input. That's awesome. But if you're struggling to grow, I would suggest that you find your niche. and let that niche be something that you enjoy. For example, you enjoy jank decks. Turn your channel into a jank deck builder. Like tier lists, for example. If you enjoy tier lists, focus on doing those. Find a niche that then you can be identified with. That's basically where I'm trying to go with this. Tip number 2 is it's okay to be disappointed. It's okay to even be frustrated. That's one of the things that I am still learning to deal with. That's one of the things that, are always going to be present in these circles. Because sometimes you pour a lot of love into something, and for example, it doesn't work out the way that you have imagined. It is okay to feel sad, to feel disappointed. Let's say you're not growing at the rate that you would want to grow, or let's say you've really invested a lot of time in a project, but it didn't work out the way that you imagined. It's okay to feel this way, as long as you don't let it actually chase you away, turn your back on what you want to do. That's what I'm trying to say. It's okay to be sad if something didn't work out. Just don't let it make it hey, now I'm not gonna do this anymore because it doesn't work. So disappointment is okay. And speaking of disappointment, let's switch it around a bit with my final tip is find happiness in small victories. Find happiness in small victories. Okay, it's not the final tip, but it's around that point. Basically, when I just started, for example, I took over the Lookout when it already had 400 subscribers. I took over the content creation. And when I started doing this, Nina and I were working like crazy back then. And we would be so happy when, a video got 50 views. Oh my god, 50 views on a video was a highlight of the day. And then I would just immediately come from work back home and just okay, let's record another one and stuff, small victories, small successes. To me, a small victory is whenever I read one of your comments that's hey, this really helped, or something like that. Because that's why I'm doing this, because I want to help you guys. So when I read something like this, that means the world to me. That means to me okay, this video, they succeeded. I'm super happy with this. And last thing that I want to tell you is do what you do for fun. Do it because it is fun. Don't do things which aren't fun to you. Connecting back to the thing that I have said about it's okay to feel disappointed or frustrated, it's much worse if you're doing something that's not fun for you to do. That's the basic idea. If the idea is, okay, I'm just gonna come here and I'm going to try to brute force this into some kind of a career, or I'm gonna come and be super professional about this and stuff like that, and if this isn't a second nature to you, if this is hey, I'm just doing this because I believe that this is the right way to do stuff, and it's not fun for you, the disappointment / frustration can actually turn into hatred, basically, because then you will really start being mad about things not working out. So do this if it's fun for you, because at the end of the day, this is a game and we play it to have fun. And when you're having fun, I can sense that you're having fun. Nina can sense, your other viewers can sense that you're having fun, and then we're all having fun together, because at the end of the day, that's the point. If it's not fun, why are we doing it? So yeah, these are my tips for small content creators. Now, oh my god, this is really a long one, and this is the second time that I'm recording it. Anyway, what's your success to being a content creator? It's basically everything that I told you when it comes to tips, plus sacrifice. A lot of sacrifice. Really a lot of sacrifice, man. I do this basically full-time, considering the amount of hours I put into this. And when I say sacrifice, it means, all of my free time goes into this. I spend evenings awake casting, other regions, waking up very early in the morning to cast some other regions. I don't, I pour all of my free time into this. I don't sit down, play video games anymore. I don't go out to the movies and stuff. If I have my free time and I haven't done something for the lookout that I have in mind to do, I'm prioritizing that. So a lot of sacrifice goes into this, but that's just my way of doing this. It's not necessarily true for other content creators. For me, that's how I've discovered what works for me. And though it sounds, a bit like, oh my god, this sounds really bad, it's not. It works for me, basically. Like, you shouldn't sacrifice so much, but for me, it kind of works. So, yeah, just that. And I believe, like, what's your secret? Like, I want to believe that it's because I don't take anything serious and I just try to have fun with it. So, yeah, that's the answer. Blake asks, what's your greatest cheaty hot take over the years? Oh my god, man, there are so many of these. I don't think I can pinpoint a single one. And I've been in this community for years now, and I have seen everything. I saw that Gogeta 7 should not have been banned, that it's okay and that survival of the fittest will keep it in check, which we saw wasn't true at all. So, like, usually they either involve green in, like, things from green should be banned in period when green was just horrible, or they involve banned things not having to be banned. Yeah, like, I can't pinpoint a single one, man. I can't pinpoint a single one. Or it's usually, like, things coming off of the ban list. Like, Gogeta 7 would not do anything today and stuff like that. Now, my personal shitty hot take is, my greatest shitty hot take that I've apparently made is from an older video when I just started out, and I said that SS3 Thwarting the Dark Empire should be banned, and I got like 180 comments telling me to shut up, idiot, learn to play the game. And I guess that was my craziest shitty hot take that I ever had. Another less crazy is that Dabura should be banned, that one generic card should not do horrible ungodly things to a color. But yeah, that's that. Prezemo asks, please confirm the date for Zenke 3 ASAP before my wife will fix vacation for September/October. We should have the date out next week. We are just negotiating it with the venue. I can't announce it now, but look more towards like the end of September. Like, that's what I can say. Like, look more in that range, the second half of September, not the very start of it. So yeah, I hope this helps. Tell your wife to wait just a bit more. A good one from James. What's your favorite deck? Bulma Gogeta BR. That's my favorite deck of all time. I have a deck profile on it from like way back from last year. You can find it somewhere on the channel. I guess you just search the Lookout Bulma deck profile. It's basically Red Bulma with Gogeta BR engine from set 11. And then you have like one of the best blockers in the game. He's only missing a barrier. And then basically you just clear your opponent's board. You bait them to go down to 2 lives. Because whenever you swing with your boss monster at a leader, you're basically dealing double strike. Because you're 35k and you minus the leader by 20. And once you clear everything, then you just play the 8 drop from set 6, I believe, on top of your boss monster. And he says if your opponent doesn't have any battle cards, they crit 2 lives, and that's how you win. Like, that's my favorite deck of all time. Cody, the Green Simp, asks, Damien, why are you a Green Simp? Don't worry, I am too. I am Green Simp because apparently I hate myself and I love playing the game in the most uphill battle way possible. Now, like I've said in the previous question, I've got back into the game with green, a horrible decision, and I just kind of stuck with it. I like that it has weird mechanics, but one of the coolest things that I found about green is because it has these weird janky mechanics, it's one of the colors that you can break, that you can exploit in the most creative ways. For example, Denzel's Exodia Gohan build, or the Miracle Strike Kaioken build that I put out recently. There's also like Cell Ultimate deck, hand destruction without the cell chain and stuff like that. That's why I love green, because it is so weird. And because cards are so weird, they can create these unintended interactions if things aren't properly archetype locked. So yeah, that's why I love green. I hate it because it's bad, but I'm super excited for the newest green spoilers just to see can they break something. So yeah, that's why I'm a green simp. Milos asks, what deck you hate the most in Dragon Ball Supercard game history? Cell Surge. I hate Cell Surge with a burning passion. I really hate Cell Surge, the hand destruction route. The Victory Strike one is even more awful. I just hate hand destruction Cell Surge so much. It's one of the dumbest decks that I have ever seen. Like, it's really stupid. And this is coming from someone who played in the days of Hero Storm, of Super Shenron, of 7-drop Gogeta nonsense. I just flat out hate Cell Surge so much. I just hate it. Because it was the least skilled, least fun deck to play and to play against, where you just kind of sit there, do nothing, and then you lose. So yeah, I hate Cell Surge so much. Yeah, that's my most hated deck in the entire Dragon Ball card game history. Tom asks, why Peter? Peter, why? Tell us. Why are you simping for Invoker, Peter, so much? Like, give it a rest, man. I mean, that's what I assume he's asking here. So, like, I don't know. Peter, why? Why? Okay, so this one is near and dear to me. When will I get my Jiren SCR? Now, I'm a huge Jiren simp. I'm a massive Jiren simp. So, to answer this question, I'm going to say BT22. I'm gonna say BT22 is when you will get your Jiren SPR, maybe not SCR, but like, I really hope that it's in the near future. So let's say BT22, BT23, whenever we see Tournament of Power again. So hopefully soon, because it's been quite a while. It's been like since set 14, since the last time we saw Jiren. Like, the way that Bandai has been handling Jiren is an actual crime. Like, it's an actual crime. It's crimes against humanity, the way that they have been handling Jiren. Jiren is like the strongest guy in the multiverse, and he doesn't even have an SPR. What? Like, come on, guys. Please give Jiren an SPR, an SCR. A Jiren God Rare is what this game needs. You know, just like shirtless Jiren, just like nipple slapping Goku, you know, like that's what we need. That has to be the God Rare art. This will save the game. This one is from one of my favorite guys in the community, Alexander the Jank Master himself. When will we get the free anti-hand destruction cards for every color? Never. Never. Stop hating on hand destruction. Hand destruction did nothing wrong. No, honestly, you can have your free anti-hand destruction cards, like the yellow Gohan, one, and there's like the Vegeta one as well. You can have those if you take away Dabura. Like, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with you like discarding one and then just drawing one, and so like basically not much happened here. But like, I don't want to see Dabura anymore. Like, I think that's fair. Because like, this way you're just, I'm wasting my resource so that you can just replace a card in hand, but you're saving on energy, and on the other hand, you're not plussing one. So I think that's fair. So once Bandai finally bans Dabura, you can get your anti-hand control cards in every color. Matthew asks, can Bandai make green Namekians good? I'm talking starter deck Piccolo. Well, you're asking, can a company which made Piccolo bad 3 times in a row in the same color 3 times in a row and he was horrible every single time. Can they make green Namekians good? No, because they are green. They're green. By default they cannot be good. I'm sorry. I don't believe that we will ever see good Namekians in this deck. I think Namekians are just kinda doomed. Ali asks a good question. What's an older archetype that you would like Bandai to revisit with a promo card? I'm gonna cheat a bit because there's a lot of them. I'm obliged to say Vegeta's lineage, please give it a leader. Like, please give it like literally anything for Vegeta swap. But there are 3 more which I would like to see revisited. Neppa from Battle Evolution Booster. I think Neppa is pretty decent, but he doesn't have a way to draw. So just give it like a 1-drop with a barrier. Give it a 1-drop barrier Z battle card, which just draws once per turn when you play a Cyberman. Just that. Like, that's everything. Or for example, when you play a Cyberman and when a Cyberman dies, because they will be dying the entire time and your leader never draws. I think that would fix the archetype. It would still be very casual, but it would be better. Tex Vegeta set 15, always on top of my list. Like, this leader really needs some love. I also made some suggestions in a previous video on how to fix it, some ideas. I think it can be fixed, but I think it requires more than a single card. And finally, here is a wild card. Here is an old one, and that is Yellow Gotenks. Yellow Gotenks from BT, what was it again? Yellow Gotenks BT10. Yeah, so this one is really a wild card, and that's because I like its support from the anniversary box. I think the boss monster is really, really cool, but going Union Fusion in that deck feels very bad. It feels very clunky. It's not as smooth as the green one, because it wasn't designed to really go hard into Union Fusion. But that makes, like playing the boss monster very clunky, very anti-archetype-ish, because even the fusion pieces are quite bad. So if we could get like Gotenks Trunks fusion piece, which grabs the other one from the deck or does something in a similar way, something just to make it more smooth, I think that would fix it. Like, you just need one card which is a good fusion piece, or for example like the green Fed Gotenks or something, some way to interact with fusion a bit more, to prompt you to go into that direction with the deck. The last Facebook one, Philip asks, why does it seem like Bandai has a boner for red/yellow and a hate boner for green? Okay, when it comes to red, I believe that it's more of a love-hate relationship, because red really has, like, when it's good, it's super strong when it's good, but when it's bad, it's like Saiyan Trio bad. Like, it's really bad when it's bad. So red just kind of has very high highs and very low lows, basically. You have Pan, which is currently the best red deck at the moment, and then you have a couple of rogue ones, like 3 to 4 rogue ones, and everything else is just bad. And I think Bandai really did red a disservice when they banned, when they limited Yamcha. They banned the new ruler. They hit everything except the 2 decks that they were supposed to hit. I think that really, really hurt red in the long run. When it comes to yellow, yeah, Bandai loves yellow. Yellow is the pet color. We know, by now, we know that yellow is the pet color. Yellow gets the best things in the game. Yellow gets the best generic cards. It's good cards. It's very good cards and generic stuff. Everything is so overtuned. Just look at the Yellow Sin from Champex. Like, it's stupidly overtuned. Yellow's counter costs 3 energy, while blue's costs 5 and stuff like that. Trunks Jita, one of the decks that has been around forever, keeps getting love all the time. It's not a good deck anymore, but it still keeps getting love all the time. So yeah, Bandai just loves yellow. Why does Bandai hate green? I don't think that Bandai hates green. I think that Bandai doesn't understand the issues with it. I think green has been on this chopping block ever since Cell Surge basically broke the game. And ever since then, it's probably been this fear of green can't be good because this might repeat. And now we're finally seeing green being good again. So I don't think they hate it. I think they have a weird philosophy when it comes to it. And that's that green has to do something completely different every time it comes out. And it has to be super unique. You know, like that really makes you feel like Bandai hates it. I don't believe that they hate green. If anything, I think Bandai loves green probably as much as they love yellow. Because you can see this in the design. It's super creative. There's a lot of thought and a lot of love put into designing these unique green cards. The problem is that they're not good. That's the problem. They're not good. So who knows? Maybe we'll start seeing better green cards now. Diving into the YouTube comment section. So Eric is asking, moving forward, what would you like to see in competitive scene to get more players and more events? Okay, so I'm working on making this happen my own way, because God knows that Bandai doesn't want me anywhere near official events. But I'm working on doing something about this, and the way that I imagine this would have to be done is look at what Magic's competitive scene used to be. Now, I don't know for other card games, because I come from competitive Magic. I've played Magic competitively for a lot of years. Sealed was my favorite format back in the day. Just to paint a picture of how old I am, I used to play Magic competitively before Commander even became a thing. So yeah, that was long time ago. I loved Sealed. I loved going to events around my country and then just competing. A lot of top 16 finishes. Never really won anything, but hey, I enjoyed it. Anyway, Magic's competitive scene used to be more professional and more sensational. You had top players, you had promotions of top players, of top plays, interviews. You had this entire sportsmanship atmosphere, professional sportsmanship atmosphere around the game, and that did wonders for the marketing. It made people excited to go to this event, to meet these personalities, to meet these, prominent community members, to meet everyone who worked on these events. There was a lot of buzz back in the day about this. Magic handled this perfectly back in the day. Now I've heard that it's not that anymore. I haven't followed it in years, but I think we need more of this sportsmanship / professionalism. I think Bandai needs to stop being afraid of working with its prominent content creators, with its prominent players, to create this professional scene, to lean more into that, just really lean into that, to make people excited for these events. Like, make it sensational. If you look at what Magic's website was back in the day, or if you look at Star City Games, Channel Fireball, just read their articles, read their event coverage, check out old marketing for events. Those were hype trains, man. Those were hype trains. They were covered completely. There was so much in this, so much love and work poured into this, which made people excited for watching these events, for playing at them. Now, specifically for playing at events, we just flat out need better pricing. We need better pricing. Now, I have the luxury of giving you a perspective of someone who casts almost every event on the planet, because it just casts everything that isn't in the America. in America, Latin America I cast, not the other portion. So I can tell you that rewards are playing a massive role in player turnout. Currently, rewards are bad. Rewards are pretty bad, and there is no incentive to go anymore. They don't even give any more special rewards for 4th place. Why? Like, what's the idea here? Like, the reward pool seems limited, seems smaller. And I mean, like, Benda, if I can with zero budget give my guys from Europe the best rewards ever, then, like, come on. Where is the issue here? So we need more rewards. We need more rewards. We need better reward structure. So no more champ packs with like 10 random cards in it and then new cards that you actually want. No, that's bad marketing. That's bad business. You're trying to get people to gamble until they open what they want. And that's how you're trying to get them to keep coming to events. No, you don't do that. Like, no, this just leaves frustrations and billions of posts where people are like, oh, I've opened bad things. So don't do that. Just make, hey guys, here is champ pack, you get these cards. Here are event packs, hey, they're filled to the brim with reprints, with actually good reprints, actually useful ones. Not cards that didn't have foiled versions. Who cares about this? No, give people, Black Smoke Dragon, Robotic Repose, Dormant Potential, cards that newest Gohan stuff, cards that see play. That's gonna attract players, not like Big Amour in foil for the first time. Nobody cares, nobody gives a shit. Like, no, we need actually good things. Good reprints. Oh my god, I'm gonna turn this into a video anymore. Thank you, Eric. I'm gonna turn this into a video later. But yeah, that's what I believe. We need more professionalism. We need Bandai leaning more into the competitive aspect and to start working with its casters, with its content creators, with professional players, turn it into an actual old Magic sportsmanship feel. And then we definitely need better prizes plus more events. So yeah, that's like the short version. We have another one from mahiok, probably butchered this. What do you think a fair yet competitive red deck should look like? Okay, so a fair and competitive red deck should be leaning heavily into red strength while also highlighting its weaknesses. Here is the issue, and here's how you do this. Let's say red's thing is going super aggro, right? Everyone knows that. Shlonku is a good example of this. You just lean very much into aggro, and you say like, okay, this is gonna be a deck which can beat you turn 3, turn 2 maybe sometimes, okay, but it's super strong, you're really gonna struggle against it, but it doesn't have defenses. Like, it doesn't have draw power. Once it hits a certain threshold, no more draw power for it, and it either beats you, it either does what it wants to do. By turn 3 it gets its big boss monster out and then it swings. Boss monster doesn't have protection because that's the part of red being super risky and not having defenses, and if it doesn't beat you by then, you just capitalize on it and you beat it. I want to say SS4 Gogeta and Sin as opposed to Pan. Like, Pan is pretty fair and competitive. It's not the most defensive deck in the game, though I have seen very defensive Pans. But let's examine SS4 and Sin. If you look at these two decks, they basically had the initial part that I have mentioned, specifically Sin. The initial part where, like, okay, it goes very fast, it hits you a lot, but the problem was that Sin's hand was like 20 cards and he awoke on like 7, 8 lives and then just proceed to ruffle stomp you. It had too much defense. If you took away Sin's defenses, if you made him take more lives to awaken and stuff like that, it would have been much more fair. So that's what a red deck should be. You know, just hyper aggro for the first 3 turns, and then if you don't lose by that point against red deck, then you just beat it. You just beat it because it cannot draw anymore and it cannot defend itself and stuff like that. I think that would be a fair yet competitive red deck. Player 7483 asks, on the competitive level, what makes this game stand out from other card games out there, in your opinion? Okay, so coming from someone who hasn't played all of the card games, like I haven't played Yu-Gi-Oh at all. I got like the starter deck and played 2 games by anime rules and then never touched it again. I've played Magic a lot. I have played Versus System. And if you haven't played the original Versus System, you're missing out. It's the most complicated yet most rewarding card game that I have ever seen. I love it. In my opinion, that is the best card game ever made. And Dragon Ball is very close to it, which is why I have gravitated towards it so much. What makes it stand out is micro decisions. Like, it's really, really strategic. It really rewards proper sequencing and micro decisions. So, as someone who has been casting almost every event and I have seen my fair share of competitive gameplay, it's a game that's difficult to learn. I can tell you, from my perspective, it's a game that's difficult to learn and even harder to master, because you need to take so much into consideration. Cards in hand are double resources. They are either things on the field, triple resources, energy, cards on the field, combo power. So that's everything that you need to take into consideration based on cards in hand alone. And then you have multiple versions of cards. Proper sequencing. When do you attack with something? What negate can trigger based on what you attacked with? Small things that players don't keep in consideration, like when do you stop charging? When do you play, like the specific sequencing of how do you play different cards? How do you attack? When do you prioritize your targets? That's what I would like to call like micro decisions. And the more you get to understand them, the better of a player you will be. Like, we have watched the amazing game against Trekara and Peter Dance on the European regionals, and this is one of these examples. Like, Peter fought Gohan with SSG Trunks in a way that he didn't charge his third energy. He just didn't charge it because he knows that his deck doesn't need free energies and that Gohan cannot play its boss monster. Then we saw another game like this where SSG Trunks charged third energy, and then Gohan just proceeded to play boss monster and start attacking him like crazy. So it's a very, very minimal decision. Like, I mean, it's not minimal, it's huge, but its impact is massive. So just understanding the game on this level, I highly suggest that you go and watch Big O Notation's video where he talks with Mikey about Cumber. And that video alone is going to show you how far these professional players, how far in the future they think when it comes to sequencing, when it comes to small decisions, small deck build changes, like taking sideboarding. So basically where I'm going with all this ramble is Dragon Ball as a competitive game is a lot of minor, like micro decisions which make it stand out, which can either reward you or can just completely punish you. That's what makes this card game stand out for me. Only a couple of these left. So Amias G asks, have you ever tried playing this game with more than 2 players at once? No, I have never tried it. I'm open to trying it. I don't believe that it would work, but I'm open to trying it. Nino, our huge fan, Nino asks, I'm amazed by the train of videos you give us every week, and I must say that they're top quality. Thank you, man, this means the world to me. Is this your full-time job? No, it isn't. It's not my full-time job. It's not even my part-time job. This is more of a hobby that I sacrifice so much for because I just love it. Why is it not my job? Well, multiple reasons. The simplest way to put this is YouTube pays exceptionally little. YouTube really pays so little. Sometimes people who don't do YouTube, and this is the majority of the population, sometimes there is this false perception that like, hey, if you do YouTube, you have a lot of money and stuff like that. No, YouTube pays so miserably. YouTube pays extremely miserably. So you would have to be on such a huge number of subscribers and viewers and view length, because it calculates view length and views when it comes to revenue, to make this even a part-time job. Now, would I be able to make this a part-time job if I were in a different country? That's point number 2. Yeah, probably, but I live in Denmark, which is one of the most expensive places in Europe. So, yeah, no. I mean, like, that's basically it, you know. It's not my full-time job. It's not my part-time job. I would love it to be one day, you know, like at least part-time. That would be cool, because I love doing this, guys. So, and that's one of the important reasons why we have like the coffee club. Even there, we charge like barely anything, you know, but it helps it really helps keeping us going. But yeah, it's just a hobby that I do because I really love this community. And the final question comes from a mistake. What's for lunch today? I'm starving. Well, I can tell you that that the lunch today isn't a mistake. So like the lunch today is grenadier marsh. It's one of my favorite foods. I love it so much. So yeah, that's for lunch today. And speaking of lunch, I'm gonna go and have some. So yeah, that's it for the video. That's it for the video. Let me know in the comments below. Do you want to see more videos like this one? Like, I've never done an AMA before, and we kept this one strictly to Dragon Ball, because that's what the channel is about. But I have enjoyed answering your questions. So do you want to see more videos like this one? We can make them as videos, we can make them as streams, I don't know. We can give it a go. If you have any other questions, let me know in the comments below. I read all of your comments. I try to respond to everything. I love our little community. So yeah, if you think of a question that I haven't answered, I'm probably gonna answer it in the comments. But right now, guys, subscribe for more awesome Dragon Ball content. Please like the video, hit those share and subscribe buttons. Help us grow. We are on our way to 3,000 subs. 3,000! We only have like 300 left to go. That's not much. So maybe we can hit it by the end of July. That would be awesome. Anyways, guys, this has been Damien from The Lookout, and I'll see all of you in the next video.